Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. You might be wondering, what is this? Looks like a small tank. It's actually an early Holt 5-ton armored artillery tractor. And you can tell that basically by the armor plate that's on it. It surrounds the engine, but also we've got a pintle hitch here in the front. And if we walk around, just have a look at it, it's got the old lantern style lights on it yet. Really cool. All the old riveted construction. Sorry for the glare. Heavy duty latches on the engine enclosures. We can see the typical Holt oscillating track frame with the bogie systems, the integral track pad and link with the crude pins retained by cotter pins there. Old style sprockets, square coil springs. Around here we have a tank in the back, also a couple of compartments for smaller cans. Pintle hitch also in the rear, another indicator of being a artillery tractor. Look in here, we have some open brakes with brake bands, looks like steering clutches in the insides. Come around this way and have a look. We have the old T-bar steering, somewhat open clutch area, the foot pedals, some more levers. Have a look in at the engine. Manifolds look actually really good on this yet. No air cleaner. You can see that's where that should go. Old flat belt on the fan. Look down here. One neat thing I noticed about this, you can see the sprocket teeth here with the big gaps in between. Looks like the rails right on these flats like an idler. But I noticed the sprocket looks like it clamps to the shaft in the center, which is a very odd design for a crawler tractor. I would have thought that would have loosened up, but apparently it worked for them, at least long enough to be functional back in the day. You can see we have the Holt on the rollers. And they made these, I believe, 1918, 1919-ish, up until 1925 when Holt and Best merged to form the Caterpillar company that we know now. You can get over here, it's got a rather interesting tag on the dash. Hopefully you can read it. We have Ordnance Department, number 3530. Engine armor for 5-ton artillery tractor, model 1917. Instructions when ordering parts or writing, give above data and same data from Ordnance Tractor plate from the Diebold Safe and Lock Company, 1918. Quite a neat old tag. Show you down here. It's got an awesome looking old Eisman switch in here too. That thing is just cool. All the texturing behind the letters. They just did things a lot cooler back then. Smaller Eisman switch up here, more like you'd see on the old Caterpillars of the day. One interesting thing about these Holts, they had basically odometers on them. Gear drive from the transmission here. This one's pretty well deteriorated, but like we have a gear pattern here. We have D. I'm not sure what D and H would be. R would be reverse. L for low. We have an I up here and an O back there. Don't quote me on what any of those mean. I'm not too familiar with these tractors, but they didn't seem to be too concerned about areas to put your feet either. I would assume that sitting on the seat here, there's a whole lot of spinning components down here. You could get some shoelaces, some bootlaces tied up in if you weren't careful, but yeah, you know, safety wasn't the #1 priority back in the day. Another interesting thing about these tractors, I've heard several people comment on how you consider the operator would have been sitting up here, so his shoulders and head would have been at least this height here, and he was completely unprotected, yet they had the whole tractor up armored quite well to protect it. So I guess machines were harder to come by than soldiers back in the day. So, but interesting old artillery tractor, pre-Caterpillar days. Has a good look to it. So I figured you guys would like to see it. As always, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave comments below, and I hope to see you back again.